enemy can't kill if they're dead. Double down.
Hey, what up, superstars? It's your boy Ibetonme with some more Destiny 2 content, man, and you guys are definitely gonna love this video. But hey, right before we get into it, I definitely want to say welcome to the channel, guys. Alright, so if you've been looking for a great auto rifle to use in Destiny 2 Lightfall, man, you definitely came to the right place. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys a god roll guide for both PvP and PvE for the new auto rifle Perpetualis. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to have some gameplay of me using this weapon, dropping a 12.0 KD. You definitely don't want to miss that. Now, this is a seasonal weapon, so you could get it at the war table over at the Helm. Now, Perpetualis is a strand auto rifle. Now, it's a primary, so it's going to be in a kinetic spot. Now, the great thing about this weapon is that it's craftable. So you definitely want to craft a god roll in the Season of Defiance. Now, this is a 600 rounds per minute auto rifle, and it's adaptive frame, so it's well-rounded, grip, reliable, and sturdy. So here's the base stats on this weapon. The thing that stands out to me, it has some pretty good handling of 62. And I will tell you this weapon has a little kick to it. So I would suggest whenever you're farming for a god roll, try to at least make sure you have some type of roll that adds some extra stability to this weapon. And I would also use a counterbalance mod so you can help with that recoil control. Now, when it comes to the damage of this weapon, you're looking at for body 14.30. Now, when you're looking for a crit shot, which is a headshot, you're looking at 22.85 damage. Now, when it comes to optimal TTK, the fastest time to kill you could get on this weapon with all headshots is 0.80 seconds. Now, when it comes to all body shots, the best TTK you could get is 0.20 seconds. Now, this weapon only has a base range of 43, so that damage fall off a start at about 25 meters. And now we all know range is very important when it comes to PvP, but don't worry about it, guys. I'm gonna show you what traits to use to get way more range, because you can actually get your range past 70 with this weapon and have some pretty good damage fall off. So I'm gonna show you the roll that I will be farming for if I was you guys. Now, here's the current roll that I have on this weapon. It's a pretty good, it has a couple of good guard roll traits on it and a good masterwork. So the gameplay that you're seeing in the background, this is the roll that I am using. However, like I said, I'm gonna show you guys a way better roll to use in PvP than this roll that I got. And like I said, I'm still gonna show you guys the PvE guard roll as well. Now, right before we get into the guard roll and perks, there are some new perks in Destiny 2 that you can find on this weapon. So let's go over those perks real fast. All right, guys, now here's the new traits. Now, I will say they have potential to be guard roll perks, but I just will not call them guard roll perks yet until I actually play with the perks first. Then I'll make a decision. I'll probably make like a YouTube short video with an update on this. All right, so let's go over the first perk on the third line, second to the last. It's called Keep Away. So it increases your reload, range, and accuracy when no combatants are in close proximity. Now, the second one right under that is called Envious Assassin. So rapidly defeating targets with other weapons before drawing this one transfers ammo to the magazine from the reserve. Now, this effect can overflow with the magazine on the number of targets defeated. All right, and the last one is Hatchling. Now, I did use this in PvP. It was pretty fun, but this seemed more like a better PvE trait, but still try it out in PvP. It's a lot of fun. So precision final blows or rapidly defeat targets with a non-precision weapon spawn a threadling at the target's location. So you could pick up the threadling and you can hit people with it, or you can hit an enemy with it. All right, guys, so what most of you guys have came for, let's look at the PvE and PvE god roll guides. Now, let's go ahead and give the PvE people a chance first, since they normally always complain and say I always use them last on the video. All right, so let's go ahead and go with PvE first. All right, so here are the best PvE god roll traits on this weapon, but right after this, I'm gonna give you the perfect PvE god roll that I'm gonna be using, okay? All right, so in line number one, Arrowhead Break, which increases the recoil and handling. That's real good. Or Corkscrew Rifling, which add +5 to stability, handling, and your range. All right, so in line number two, I would go with appended mag, which increases the magazine by 6. Either tactical mag, which add +3 to the magazine, 10 to reload, 5 to stability, or I would go with flared magwell, 15 to reload, 5 to stability. Now Zen Moment in line number 3 did get a buff this season, well last season, so this definitely is a pretty good trait now to use. It helps causing damage with this weapon, reduces recoil and flinch over time. But the best trait like I like is elemental capacitor. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Now in line number 3, demolitionist, or I would go with golden tricorn. I think I said that right. Tricorn. I think I said that right. So those are some of the best traits that I would go with for PvE. Now let's take a look at the PvE god roll I'm gonna be rolling with. Okay, so for my perfect PvE god roll, let's start with the stats over to the left first. Guys, I'm gonna roll with 60 stability, 72 handling, 83 reload. This is gonna be a fast-paced moving gun in PvE, 49 in the magazine, 83 recoil control, so this is going to be very good. So in line number 1, I'm going with arrowhead break when it comes to the perk, which gives us +30 to recoil, +10 to handling. Line number 2, flare magwell, is going to give us +15 to reload, +5 to stability. Line number 3, we have elemental capacitor. I am using void, so that's going to give me 20 to my stability. And then I'm going to switch between demolitionist, which kills with this weapon, generate grenade energy, activating your grenade ability, reloads the weapons from reserves, and also golden tricorn, which is going to give me an ability to have a 50% damage buff on kills. And the last thing on this weapon, it has the origin trait Noble Deeds, which this weapon gains charges after assisting allies with revives, healing, overshields, or subclass buffs. Now defeating targets consume charges, and while charged, this weapon gains bonus handling and reload speed or charge rate for swords. So look at the last area where it says effects, guys. I got arrowhead break, flare magwell, elemental capacitor, run void, demolitionist, noble rounds, reload masterwork, and backup mag for more ammo. This is the perfect PvE god roll, guys. All right, so I know you PvE players are saying, okay, now I can leave. Unless you're a PvE player that also plays PvP. Let me show you the best god roll traits to choose from. All right, so here's some great PvP god roll traits. Then I'm gonna show you my PvP god roll I'm farming for. So in line number 1, arrowhead break again is real good. Corkscrew rifling. We also have hammer forge rifling, give you +10 to range. Then small bore, +7 to range, +7 to stability. Now in line number 2, we have accurized rounds, which add +10 to your range. Then we also have tactical mag again. Now in line number 3, we got killing wind, final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range challenge for a short duration. Zen moment, like I said, is real good now, guys. Then elemental capacitor is a real good one. Now in line number 4, we have Eye of the Storm. This weapon becomes more accurate and boosts handling as your health get lower, or golden tricorn again. All right, so for my perfect PvP god roll, let's look at those stats first. Look at that, 70 range, 62 stability. I got 68 recoil control. This is going to be very good to compete in PvP. So in line number 1, guys, I'm going with small bore, which add +7 to range, +7 to stability. Remember, I said stability is important as well, and range. I also add +10 to range with accurized rounds. Then I'm going with elemental capacitor void. Then I'm going with golden tricorn, which is going to give me that 50% buff. All right, so look at the effects. I got small bore, accurized rounds, elemental capacitor, golden tricorn, noble deeds, a range masterwork +10. Then I got a counterbalance mod to help out with that recoil deviation, which is going to give me a real good opportunity to get some real crisp kills. But look at this, which is more important. So remember, I told you earlier, this weapon only had 43 range, and then also it only had 25 damage fall off. Now I'm at 70 range because all these perks, I have almost a 30 ADS damage fall off. So now I'm able to compete with a lot of auto rifles, with a lot of pulse rifles, and I can outgun SMGs as long as I stay in the mid range. All right, so if you don't believe me, guys, just look how sick this thing is. This thing is crazy.
What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. Your moments of clarity are weapons, Warlock. Call the practice order. Call the Thanatos, the ginseng scribe. Strength in numbers, God. Ikora would be proud. You're almost there. Together as one. Impressive, God.